In the world of competitive gaming, every single frame matters, and even the slightest delay can differentiate between winning and losing, and that's why I've gathered every single optimization to help you get the most FPS in Fortnite. But before we start, make sure to like and subscribe! So let's start with Nvidia Control panel. Make sure to go to Adjust Image Setting with Preview and use the Advanced 3D Image Settings and then click on Take Me There. Now copy all of my settings, I'm going to read it aloud. Image scaling is turned off, ambient occlusion is turned off, anisotropic filtering is application controlled, anti-aliasing, pretty much all the anti-aliasing are turned off. Background application max frame rate is off, CODA GPU is all, CODA system fallback policy is driver default, DSR factors off, low latency mode is on, but if you're experiencing any hitches in the game then just try to turn it off and experiment with it. Max frame rate is off, multi-frame sampled AA MFAA is off, OpenGL GDI compatibility is auto, OpenGL rendering GPU, make sure it's using your actual GPU. Power management mode is prefer maximum performance, preferred refresh rate is application control, shader cache size is driver default, texture filtering anisotropic sample is on, texture filtering negative LOD bias is allow, texture filtering quality is high performance, texture filtering trilinear optimization is on, threaded optimization is on, but also like low latency mode, make sure to experiment with it if you're experiencing any hitches. Triple buffering is off, vertical sync is off, but if you're experiencing screen tearing or anything, make sure to turn it on here in Nvidia Control panel but not in Fortnite. Virtual reality pre-rendered frame is 1, virtual reality variable rate super sampling is off, and the last setting Vulkan/OpenGL present method is auto. Now let's optimize the Epic Games launcher setting. Open Epic Games and go to library, go to Fortnite and click on the 3 dots and then go to options, and obviously all of us have the first one installed but all of the rest are not necessary except for one setting, which is pre-download streamed assets. What this does is that it pre-downloads every skin or texture into your PC locally, so you don't have to stream it every single time you're in a game with your internet, which can affect your ping, which is something you definitely don't want to have. For the DirectX 12 shaders, you're not going to be using that. We're going to be using performance mode to have the most FPS, and for the high resolution textures, again it's the same thing, plus it's 19 gigabytes. And look what this does. If you enable it, you have the pre-download streamed assets, it's going to be 27 gigabytes. So no thank you, we don't need any of that, just turn it off. And the rest of the additional languages are languages. So, I mean, just use your language or stick with English, the best language ever. Now let's jump into Fortnite's in-game setting. For the window mode, make sure you're using full screen or windowed full screen. Just make sure you're not using windowed mode. For the VSync, make sure it's off. For your frame rate limit, make sure you're using your monitor rate +1. So I'm using a 44 Hz monitor, I'm going to +1 here. For the rendering mode, we're going to be using performance mode, but to unlock the extra settings, we're using the DirectX 11 for now. So while we are optimizing, we're going to be using the DX11, and when we are done, we're going to be opening performance mode. For the colorblind mode, the pros are actually recommending protanope. It does not affect performance though, but yeah. For the motion blur, for God's sake, turn that off. User interface, I've actually never seen that before. I think it doesn't affect the gameplay. Yeah, it says menus like the item shop, so yeah, it doesn't affect the game by any chance. For the quality presets, I mean, you could go for low, but I'm going for custom because I want to explain something. For the anti-aliasing, we're going to be using either off, or some people would like to have Nvidia DLSS on performance, but I prefer making it off because I don't like how blurry it gets. For the shadows, obviously we'll have to turn it off. Global illumination off, reflections off, view distance.
I think view distance is pretty important in Fortnite.
Textures are high, I mean it doesn't really affect it. For the effects we are using low, post processing is low, show FPS obviously doesn't do anything except showing FPS, so I'm going to turn it on. The latency markers are off, this one is off as well, I don't know what this does. For the low reflex latency it's going to be on plus boost, and the report performance status is disabled. We have some extra settings here as well, so for the where is it? Peripheral lighting is off, Nvidia highlights is also off, and turn off all the replays and the energy saving settings. Turn it off. So now after you've finished, hop onto the performance mode and you are done. Now we're done. So here are some quick other optimizations for your internet for the ping. Open up control panel and go to network and internet and click on the network and sharing center. Now click on change adapter settings and click on this one and properties. So some additional optimization, you could turn off all the protocols except for these two, the client for Microsoft Network and Internet Protocol version 4. You don't have to, but just try it. Another thing, use the following DNS server, open up CMD and quickly test two of the most popular DNSs, Google's DNS and Cloudflare's DNS. So type ping 8.8.8.8 and click enter. It's now going to test and see which one is faster. Now after you've done the first one, type it again, ping, but this time 1.1.1.1. So as you can see, Google's DNS is better. As you can see, 64 milliseconds. This one is not even consistent and it's higher. So let's type Google DNS 8.8.8.8 and 8.8.4.4 and click OK. If you have any issues with this network optimization, make sure to revert it to its default. The last thing you will need to do is to update your graphics driver. Open Geforce now and click on drivers and then click on download. Usually the update size is 500 megabytes and it will fix a lot of your problems. So thank you for watching. If this helped you by any chance, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to be making more videos like this, so make sure you turn off that notification bell. Thank you for watching and see you later.